Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
Hello there and welcome Gary.
Good morning.
Always a pleasure to have you. We've got an email question today. Let's pull it up on the screen.
All right.
Gary, does it make a difference if I'm injured in a wreck while riding in an Uber or taxi cab? Do they have the same liability, and is a passenger more protected in one over the other?
All right. Well,
Very
good question,
yeah.
because this is becoming a bigger issue. You know, a couple, 4 years ago, we didn't have quite the Uber presence or Lyft presence that we have now. So we're seeing it. And if you're traveling, people use it a lot, I think, now. So the answer, the easy answer is, at least here in Columbus, yes, there's a big difference. Now, ultimately, they treat the employees the same way. So when you think you're riding with the employee of a taxi company or an employee of Uber, you are not, at least the way they argue it. They argue that the drivers are independent contractors.
Okay.
Why does that matter? Because you can't sue Uber, all right? So your action will be against this person who has their own insurance through Uber, and the truth is, that's the way the taxi companies are too. So what coverages are there? And there's arguments to be made about whether that's true or not. So that's left to the lawyers later. This is big picture stuff here, right? So what's the difference? The local taxi cabs have a insurance company that's kind of a self-funded deal that has minimum limits. It doesn't matter, I mean, there is minimum limits. There is $25,000 in coverage per person. If it's their fault, that's the most they'll pay.
Oh, wow.
Uber has, most of those drivers are insured up to $1 million.
Wow, okay.
So whether you're a passenger or the victim, let's say they hit your car, you know, the Uber or the taxi hits your car and causes whatever, they cause the problems. Their insurance is a lot more. There's more difficulty sometimes in finding that coverage, but there's a lot more on an Uber and a Lyft.
Wow.
So if you're, now I don't know, I haven't read the agreements that you sign when you do an Uber app or a Lyft app. I'm sure there's some agreements you've made. We'll talk about those kind of contracts where consumers sign off on all this stuff without ever reading it.
Terms and agreement, right?
Yeah, I haven't read it either, so I don't know what it says.
Terms and conditions, yeah.
I'm sure there's something in there that says you agree they're an independent contractor and limits some of their liability. But big picture is a lot more coverage with the Uber and Lyft drivers than there really is with the local taxis.
Wow, very, very interesting. I did not know that, so I learned something new today. So thank you very much, Gary. We'd love to have your questions. Please contact us, email them. We'd love to have them. We'd like to answer them each and every week.
All new year, we'll look forward to new questions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gary.
Thanks.
We'll see you on the very next Legal Break.